mandatory for all the vessels in the world, and this is a high remark from the port state in case you are not using it or it's malfunctioning. Hey, today I will tell you about the ballast water treatment system. I will show you the computer that is controlling all the sensors and the filters and everything, and then I will show you the actual location of each of the parts of the ballast treatment system, which is located in the pump room of the vessel. That is the case for all the vessels. So a few words about the ballast treatment system. This is used on board the vessels to treat the water from the sea, to remove all the bacteria and all the microorganisms from the seawater. So you intake this water, you take it through the ballast treatment system, which has some special filters and also UV lamps to kill all the bacteria, and then this water is put in the ballast tanks, and this way you are making the ship steady. That is the purpose of the seawater. When you use it as ballast to balance the vessel. And a few years back they introduced this ballast system because they have noticed over the years that ships are taking seawater from Asia and they are discharging this seawater, because sometimes you need to change this ballast water, and they are discharging it, for example, in the Black Sea, and they were wondering how our Asian microorganisms and algae are getting in the Black Sea. And that is how they discovered it was coming from the vessels which are discharging the ballast water treatment from Brazil, from Asia, and taking it to the Black Sea, or the other way around, from the Black Sea and they are discharging it in the Asia. So they introduced this system, this ballast water treatment system, which is mandatory for all the vessels in the world. And this is a high remark from the port state in case you are not using it or it's malfunctioning. So this is very important for the vessel, otherwise you get detained. There is no joke about this. So they introduced this system, yeah, and the seawater is getting treated, like I said, with UV lamps and special filters, and then you can discharge it anywhere, wherever you are needed to change the ballast water. And this is what the vlog will be about. So I told you just a few words. You can find this on the internet, more comprehensive guides. I'm just giving you a quick guide about this ballast treatment system, just to have an idea. And the vlog will be about this. Yeah, I will show you the settings on this computer that is used to control all the filters and all the valves, and then I will show you all the actual filters inside the pump room. Once in a while we need to open all those filters and clean them, because you have sea salt deposits and sometimes getting some other stuff in there, like some algae, or sometimes you have problem with the valves, or the filters can get damaged over time or rusted. Even though they are coated with a special paint, they still get a bit of rust in there. So once in a while, depending on the model that you have on board that vessel, you need to replace those filters, not just clean them. Also, the ballast treatment system is using a special liquid which is used to lubricate all those sensors. So once in a while you need to replace that liquid. It's a special order, and from what I understood is expensive, but there is no way around it. You cannot just put water. It's a mandatory system and you have no choice. You just have to follow the rules. Initially, this video was meant only for my personal collection, because in the fleet that I am working now, there are only 14 ships. And I have been working in this fleet for the past 7 years. So as you can imagine, sometimes I am lucky enough to work on the same vessel. And I recorded this to have for my personal collections all the settings that they are using in this ballast water treatment on board this vessel. This is an Alfa Laval system, and as you can imagine, this is a critical equipment. If this has any issue, any malfunctioning, and you do not report it to the company and to the port authorities to be fixed, or to have some kind of delegation give you the permission to use the cargo to discharge or load until this is fixed, you can be arrested. This is a criminal offense. So I was recording these settings to have them in my personal collections, so whenever I will go on board this vessel again, to know exactly what settings I have to put in the ballast water treatment system. This is the responsibility of the chief mate, but me as an electrician, I also have to assist him sometimes. Maybe it's someone who has been just promoted to the chief officer position and he is on board for the first time, or maybe it's somebody who has not worked on Alfa Laval systems before, and of course I do not want to waste time, exchange emails with the company for small things like this, so I just record this, and next time when I go on board this vessel I will have all the settings, and just this is a useful tip for you. So if you are coming on board, like I was saying, as a chief officer, or even the deck officers who are on duty, whenever they have duty to discharge cargo or load cargo, of course you have to exchange the ballast in your ship to stabilize it, you know. And even as a deck officer you need to use this system. And of course you don't want to bother the chief mate for every small thing and wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you do not know how to make the settings for the UV lamps. Because sometimes the ship can be in some ports where the water is very dirty, and you need to make some special settings to the UV system. If the water is very dirty, you have to put more intensity in the UV lamps, for example. There will be a vlog on this channel about the whole procedure when we are doing maintenance on this system. We take out the filters, we change the CIP liquid, that is the special liquid that I was telling you earlier, and all the procedure that involves maintenance on this system, which we do every month. So if you are interested in that kind of vlog, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And now we will proceed to the pump room to see all the components of the ballast water treatment system. As you can see for yourself, the weather was not so good in this particular morning when I decided to do the vlog, but even this was not enough to stop me to show you guys exactly what I was talking about. After showing you the computer and all the components which are drawn there on the display, I want to show you exactly the location in the pump room, the exact location of each component, and to show you exactly how it looks like. Because for me personally it is better like that than to see a drawing in a book. I actually want to see the part. Being an engineer, I want to touch it and see it for myself with my own eyes to know exactly what the book means. So now we are in the pump room. This is the CIP unit. It has valves, It's working with fresh water, a special liquid in the black tank that you are seeing there. That is the CIP unit, and under it there are some pumps which are very sensitive. They have some rubber membrane which is always breaking. We either have to replace it or sometimes we just overhaul it, and we have to do maintenance on this system almost every month. Depends on the area where we are sailing. If we are having a long voyage, 40 days from Europe to China, as you can imagine, we do not need to use this in the middle of the ocean. But whenever we are going in a port and we need to exchange ballast, we need to use it. This is the CIP unit, that is the pump. There are two pumps there which are exchanging the special liquid with the fresh water and is going all the way to the piping unit. These are pneumatic valves. They are very strong because they have to take the load of the ballast pumps. And these are the UV lamps. It's 16 lamps total, and sometimes they break, and I have on board about 4 up to 6 pieces. That is the requirement to have on board all the time in case one of them breaks and you need to replace it. Usually I just take them out when it's maintenance time. I just clean them with a clean cloth and I just put them back. I always check that the connections are in good order, because on board the vessel there are always vibrations, so you can have some loose connections. This system is in the pump room, like I was saying, on 3 decks, and now we are on the last floor. This is the bottom floor of the pump room. This is underwater actually. I am under the ocean now, and this is the filter unit. This is the filter unit which we have to open every month to check it and clean it. And this is another pneumatic valve which has to be very well maintained. It's working by air, and if you have any rust or impurities in the piping, the pneumatic valves can malfunction. So we always have to check that it's in good order, because this is critical equipment and it is mandatory to be working all the time. Otherwise your vessel can be arrested and the involved crew can go to jail if this is not working properly. And that's the vlog. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful day.